Hello and welcome to Chai with Pai. Today I want to talk about what does it take for us to overcome adversity? How do you lift yourself up when you're feeling down? And I want to share a story that I first wrote about in my book, The Habit of Winning. It's about a man called Karoly. And even if you haven't heard of him, it's a story you must listen to. Karoly was a soldier in the Hungarian army. We're now talking about 1938. Here's this 28-year-old man, Karoly, good-looking guy. Not only is he a sergeant in the army, he's also one of the world's best pistol shooters. He just won the world championship for pistol shooting. He was widely tipped to win the Olympic gold medal in the upcoming Tokyo Olympic Games in 1940. All was well with the world. Until one morning, while training with the Hungarian army, Prakash had to throw a grenade. And unfortunately for him, as he tried to throw the grenade exploded in his hand and it blew his right hand away. The hand that was perhaps the world's best shooting hand was gone. Just imagine. You'd understand if Karoly looked at himself and said, why me? Why do bad things happen to me? And if you never heard of Karoly again, you would have thought that, unfortunate, and he might have just been one more person lying in some corner of Hungary, never heard of again. But Karoly, he was made of tougher stuff. As he found himself in hospital, he looked at himself and said, man, I am lucky. That damn thing could have killed me. I just lost a hand. And as he thought about it, he figured that he still had a head that worked. He still had fire in the belly, 2 good legs, and guess what? He still had a good left hand. And he decided to train that left hand to learn to shoot. The dream of being the world's best shooter was still intact. And within 30 days of losing that hand, Karoly was back on the shooting range, trying to train that left hand to shoot. That left hand, which could barely hold a cup of tea and take it to his lips without spilling the tea. That hand, Karoly was determined, was going to become the world's best shooting hand. A year later, Karoly found himself at the national championship for shooting in Hungary, and all his former competitor colleagues were all so happy to see him, and they said, hey Karoly, so good to see you, and it's so nice of you that you've come to see us shoot. And he said, I haven't come to see you shoot, I've come to compete. To cut a long story short, the war broke out at that time, so the Olympic Games in 40 didn't happen, 44 didn't happen, but in 1948, when the Olympic Games came back to London, Karoly was chosen to shoot for Hungary. And if you check the records of the London Olympic Games, you will find that the winner of the gold medal in the shooting event was a man shooting with his left hand, Karoly. I think it's a fascinating story of how one man can pick himself up. And I think there are lessons that we can all learn from here. There will be times in your life, I'm sure, when you'll feel down and out, when you'll feel that you've lost everything. And that's precisely the time when you need to think of Prakash. In fact, at those times when you feel defeated, beaten, crushed, that's the time when you not only should think of Prakash, you should think like him. And I'd like to share 3 lessons on what we can all learn from Karoly. Lesson number 1, focus on your strengths. Don't worry about what you don't have. Most of us are just caught up in the things we've lost, in the things we don't have. Look at Prakash. He sat there in the hospital bed and didn't worry about the hand that got away. He didn't say, oh my goodness, if that hand was there, I could have become a world champion. He just looked at what he had and said, let me try and make the most of it. The problem for most of us is, by the time we are 21, we all have a PhD in our weaknesses. We are constantly being told what we are not good at. Think about it. If you knew a little kid, and imagine now it's a kid in the neighborhood who plays football extremely well. He might just turn out to be the Ronaldo we are all looking for. He also writes lovely letters to his grandmother, and he might just turn out to be the Jeffrey Archer that we are all looking for. And guess what? He's slightly weak in math. What do his parents do? Yeah, that's right. They send him to math tuition. They don't send him to football school to become a better footballer. They don't send him to a writing school to make him a better writer. They focus on his weaknesses. And that's something I think that we all tend to do. So don't let that happen to you. Focus on your strengths, focus on what you have, and don't worry about what's the missing piece. Lesson number 2, when you're down, you need to learn to pick yourself up quickly. Don't stay down. Look at the catch. Within 4 weeks of losing that hand, he was back on the shooting range, learning to train his left hand to shoot. Okay? What happens to most of us? We are down, we are looking for pity. And we have well-meaning friends who will come to us and crush us and say, poor you, you're so unlucky. Okay? Don't let that happen. Think like a boxer instead. What happens in a boxing ring? If you're down, you need to pick yourself up before the count of 10. One more second and it's all over. So pick yourself up quickly when you're feeling down. Don't languish in self-pity. And lesson number 3, and the last one really, is this. Winning a gold medal is all about the head. So winning a gold medal in shooting is not about how good your shooting hand is, it's about how good that head is. I think attitude trumps skill. You can train that hand to shoot, provided you've got that bit over here right. So I think focus on making sure you've got the mindset of a winner, the attitude of a winner. The rest of it will then fall into place. So next time you're feeling down and out, don't just stay there. Think of Prakash. In fact, like I said, think like him. Pick yourself up, become a Prakash.